The whole plan to go to Prince Edward Island started about 4 years ago. We were there fishing, and it's one place I've always wanted to take a bunch of New Zealanders there. So we hatched a plan, and 8 anglers, they followed us all the way to Prince Edward Island, massive flights. We had to fly all the way from Auckland to Los Angeles, then Toronto, and then to Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island. The Atlantic bluefin tuna turn up because of the herring schools. The herring moves in there to spawn. You've got a lot of commercial fishermen then netting the herring, and it acts like one big chum trail, you know, of all the dead herring, the herring coming out of the nets, and that's when these big giant tunas come in and feed on them. The fish are so big, I mean, you know, they're pretty much all over 400 pound to well over 1,000 pound, and you're getting the opportunity every day to see those fish, not only just hook them and catch them and release them, but you actually get to see them feeding at the boat. You see them rolling right up beside the boat. And it's one of those sights that, you know, even for me, I've been very fortunate, fished all over the world, but to see those fish rolling at the boat, it makes me feel like a school kid again. It's just an incredible feeling. When we arrived in Prince Edward Island, we were so early that they were still pulling some of the boats out of the sheds. I think they'd just done one fishing tournament like a day before we turned up, and only one fish was caught out of all the fleet. So you could imagine have taken 8 people halfway around the world and then find out that there's not many fish there. Greg and Spencer, my 2 captains, knew of an area where fish were moving into the Prince Edward Island region, and this is normally an area that they move into first. We were very nervous about going up there because it was at one end of the island, so you can imagine if we go all the way to one end of the island, we're pretty much out in the open. If it's not firing, we've got nowhere to go. So on the first day's fishing, we were trying to be a little bit conservative, and we didn't want to be all the way to one end of the island, so we're sort of almost there but not quite. Just in case it wasn't happening, we could go back to another area. And the first day was a disaster. We got out there, the ocean seemed dead, it was flat calm. I think we saw one fish rolled at the boat, and that was it. For me, it was an emotional roller coaster because you put your reputation and I guess all your experience on the line, and people trust you, and they're going to travel halfway around the world to fish with you, and I was just like, what the hell am I doing? You know, what have I got myself in for? We've had an amazing year of fishing behind us. Everyone got their fish, and then for this to happen, it's like, well, you know, is this the trip? Is this the trip that's going to go wrong? We heard some reports of the commercial herring guys were working at the other end of the island where we wanted to be originally. So we made a call to steam through the night, get up there, meet up in the morning, regroup and get back into it. More out, Spencer? Spencer's the sort of guy that I like to fish with because he's got his heart in it as much as I have, you know, that you put your life on it and that's what you want to do. For him to motor through the night and be ready for us at 6 o'clock the next morning, he was tired, he was exhausted, but he wanted to catch fish, he wants to catch fish for us. It just shows you the passion that he's got to make that decision. And the next day was epic.
Oh! Yeah!
Oh yeah, I've been thumbing it. There we go.
Sick! Awesome. I think he's gone under the net, guys.
Oh yeah, he's running.
Well, we're starting to run short. Go, go, go! Oh, this is insane. Oh, look, we're caught around that boat there. Now we're in trouble. Now we're in trouble.
For more great content, tips and tricks, and to meet some of the world's best captains and crews, like and subscribe to join us on this journey.